Hey guys, Bobby here, and today I wanted to update a past video sharing how to price your wedding film and photo collections for destination weddings. So in this, I'm going to share exactly how we price a variety of types of destination weddings and also share a handful of tips that apply across the board. So let's jump in. If you are starting to get inquiries where you need to travel to shoot a wedding, it's easy to get wrapped up in the thrill of getting to travel and lose your business sense along the way. It's an exciting time for sure and can be a huge step for your business, but it's important to approach it correctly. And while it's scary to stick to your guns on pricing, in the long run, you're going to be much happier. Our way is not the only way, but it has worked great for us for years. There are 3 different types of destination weddings that I'm going to go over. There's US based, where we can drive, likely a few hours away max, US based where we fly, and then there's international, and these all have a different approach for us. For a wedding that is a few hours away, we're going to charge our standard local collections, mileage at the government rate for that year, half of our hourly rate for every hour driving, and require 2 nights of accommodations. For a wedding that is more than a few hours away, we present a separate pricing guide that has our travel costs built into the collections. I'm gonna have a little bit more on this later. This is a $1,500 upcharge on any collection, which covers flights, bags, accommodations, food, time, and other things. In most scenarios, this covers our costs as well as some extra padding for our time. Occasionally, we cut it a bit closer, and in extenuating circumstances, we may up this number a little bit if the wedding takes place in a more expensive destination. For an international wedding, as much as we would love to make it as simple as possible, realistically, these have to be done on a case-by-case basis. There are just too many variables between flights, accommodations, travel within the country, visas and permits, and other things to have one blanket pricing strategy. So we're going to research everything that will be a cost to us in addition to our collection pricing and present that as one collection price to our prospective couple. And that is actually a great segue into tip number 1, and that applies across the board here, which is to make booking you and understanding your costs as easily as possible for your client. Over the years, we have found much more success and much less confusion by presenting our couples a flat price upfront that is inclusive of all travel costs. Commercial clients may want to see a line-by-line breakdown of your expenses, but most wedding couples don't. Presenting it as an all-in-one cost also makes it less likely for the client to try and negotiate and nitpick small things within your destination pricing. The next tip is to be involved in the booking. The flat rate upfront pricing allows you to book your own travel, which is important. Your clients don't know what's the best way or time for you to travel, the planes that fit your bags, the airlines you prefer, and other things. So be sure to book your travel on your own. However, we do allow our couples to book our hotel stay, as they typically have some rooms blocked off already and can get them at a discount. Tip number 3 is maybe the mistake that I see most often, and that is to value yourself. Again, I know shooting out of state or even out of country can be exciting, but you're still doing a large amount of work and you will be working that whole time. There are lots of offers to work in exchange for a trip, but oftentimes it's simply not worth it. Absolutely think about adding some time on either end and relaxing, but I always advise people not to do a wedding for free or cheap just because it's in a cool spot. To add to this, make sure you value your time as well. When you travel for a wedding, you are not just booking the wedding day, you are taking time on either side to travel, you are away from family, friends, other work you could be doing, and other potential bookings. Whether you're driving or flying, you are giving up something extra and you need to be charging for that time. And last but not least, applies to mostly international weddings, and that is to look into the rules before accepting the booking. Every country is going to be different as far as what you need to be able to legally shoot a wedding, and the worst thing you could do is not research this, arrive with a cart full of gear, and either be turned away or have your gear taken. There can also be additional costs that you might find during this research phase, which should be worked into your pricing. So there it is, guys, a few tips that we have for pricing and presenting destination wedding options. I can't stress enough how important it is to think of all the costs associated with a destination wedding, including your time. They are an amazing opportunity to expand your business, but need to be handled correctly in order to make the most of them. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And as always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.